Hey there, gang. Now, a wise sage once said, "We are all living in cages with the door wide open." Want to find out if they were right? Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, TCG collectors, and the people that love them, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name is Jetterx, and today we're going to do what they told us always not to do. We're going to shake the cage, and by that, of course, I mean Collector's Cage. So you may be familiar with this by now. If you don't play the game, maybe not. 2-mana artifact, 1 and a white, has Hideaway 5, which means when it enters, you look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down. And then if you meet the criteria on the card, you get to cast that card for free. So one colorless and tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the card. So the game plan here is to play some cheap creatures that get multiple bodies on board with different powers, try to get Collector's Cage out with a powerful spell underneath it, and get it out into play way above curve. So we do this by Llanowar Elf on 1, best case scenario, gets us a 3-drop on turn 2, which could be Pot Patch Recruit with Offspring, Sanguine Evangelist, or Toby Beastie Befriender. All 3 of these cards put 2 bodies with different powers on board. So between the Llanowar Elf and these 2 bodies, you have 3 creatures, and then with 1 activation of the Collector's Cage, you can get 3 different powers on board. So if we do that quickly enough, we can get one of these very, very expensive and powerful cards on the right side of the screen. My favorite being Moonshaker Cavalry, which allows us to shake the cage. This 8-mana spell is ridiculously difficult to cast under any other circumstances, but cheating into play makes it a lot of fun. So when this enters, creatures you control gain flying and +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures. So if you have the 3 that you got early on and Moonshaker, all your creatures get +4/+4. In the late game, this is just backbreaking. It's almost always an insta-win. It's not necessarily the best card to put under the Collector's Cage, certainly one of the more fun ones. So we've also got Overlord of the Mistmoors at the top, and then 4 copies of Virtue of Loyalty, which I would argue is instrumental for this deck, because it allows us to kind of play an instant game where I'm putting a creature in on your end step, and then I'm putting a creature with 2 bodies on my main phase, activating Collector's Cage. So it gives you a little bit of a way to kind of sneak the combo in. So again, get cheap creatures, multiple powers, Collector's Cage, a big threat into play for fun and profit. That's all there is to the deck. Before we move over into the gameplay, I'd like to remind you, please like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. We appreciate your time and effort. So without further stalling for time, let's play some head games. Spelunkenwort. We going cave diving for worts? Okay, this is, I mean, if I draw a land that is a white source, this is about as good as it gets. We get Llanowar Elf on 1, Evangelist on 2. If we can then attack with the Evangelist, we can then potentially activate Collector's Cage on 3. So this is best case scenario. There's lots of ways where it gets interrupted. Okay. Evangelist on 2. So best case scenario, while it may sound strange, is our opponent plays a 2-drop. Kind of a bummer. No, I can't do it. Right? Well, no, I can do it because I can do it with it on the stack. I forget how cards work. Okay, I cannot believe this is happening in the very first game. We're going to take the Moonshaker Cavalry. We're going to attack with these. Wait, does this work? No. Yes, it does. It does. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, so we've got a 1, a 2, and a 2. So we put the counter on the Evangelist. We put in Moonshaker Cavalry. Everybody gets +4/+4. Is okay. 6/6 flyer to deal with. Yes! Silver Star 99. Listen, friend. Our deck is incredibly strong against turn 2 dragon fodder. So, listen. Get your dragon fodders out of here. Okay. I mean, we've got the cage in the main hand. Got a removal spell. The mana's a little clunky. It's not bad enough to mulligan, I think. It's going to be slow. If we're against aggro, we're probably in trouble. But we saw a Mishra's Foundry instead. Our very polite opponents. What? Okay, and black and nothing. So this is tough. I think I have to play the elf here, even though I'm probably playing it into a removal spell, just because I didn't draw a land. If I had drawn a land, I might be playing cage there, but I need to at least try to advance my mana. So here we're praying that they don't have Liliana of the Veil to make me sacrifice my Llanowar Elf. We're discarding? Is that what we're doing? Okay, I think I might actually discard a cage. That might be wrong. Let's toss the Overlord. They tossed a land, and we did not draw a land. So we're definitely playing the Evangelist just to give us more creatures, so that if Lily does minus, we have lots of things that we can minus. So, okay. Here's hoping Lily doesn't minus, because if Lily doesn't minus, we can cage next turn. Fascinating. We will take the 2 this turn. Excellent. Alright, we will play this perfect dual land and Collector's Cage. Virtue of Loyalty. And I think we pass. Actually, we get 1 point of damage in at Lily. And then we say go.
Now you've got my attention.
Listen, Shelly's bad news. Aklazats. If they attack with Shelly, I'm actually okay with it, because it leaves them vulnerable in a way they're probably not counting on. Okay, we are discarding cards. I'm okay with that. We're going to discard an Overlord. Okay. I think I just take it. And then on your end step, we're going to get Lost Aklazats. We're going to draw. Can I double cage? I can. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get the second cage down. And let's get the Overlord out. And we can just... Okay, double attacking Lily. Battle Cry resolves. Give the Evangelist the third one. Get the Overlord into play. Play the Virtue of Loyalty. Take out Lily. Untap our guys. Now our creatures are huge. Now your Shieldred doesn't look as good. You bring it on in there, Shelly, baby. So I'd chump, right? That's the move. Yep, we will draw. My tokens are already flying, so I don't really need Toby here. We're just gonna move right to attack. It's an enormous amount of damage. Okay, our opponent's activating Mishra's Foundry. Battle cry up. They block the Overlord. There's no reason for me not to save the elf here, because I can't cast the second Overlord. And we want to get as much damage in as possible. And our opponent is tired of doing math. Paris Loco. Are you mashing two different languages together? I'm a little confused by that. Okay. This feels slow. And I am on the draw. I have really been on the fence about Sheltered by Ghosts in this deck. Like, the upside is fantastic because you can get the life gain swing when you have a big creature. And it does remove any non-land permanent. But I am just very, very on the fence about this card. Because it doesn't do anything because I don't have a creature to play before it. Like, maybe I'm supposed to be playing with Ossification. Mono white makes me feel ambivalence. What does that even mean? Put it in the comments down below if you know what ambivalence means. Okay. Alright, so our opponent is playing the white, probably token control deck. Carrot Cake's kind of a dead giveaway. To be perfectly honest, I don't feel great about this matchup. I kind of need to sneak a win in, so we'll see if we can pull that off. We don't have any other play than to play our first Collector's Cage here. I will take an Overlord, I think. I mean, we've got stuff set up here. Caretaker's Talent on 3. Dollmaker's Shop. Going wide with tokens. Excellent. Dollmaker's Shop first means that when they play the next one, it will work out a little better for them. Okay. So, I can Evangelist, or I can Virtue and put a counter on the Knight, and then Evangelist on the next turn and activate Cage. I think that that's the play. It allows us to operate at instant speed a little bit more. And really, they're incentivized to move their own game plan forward here. Another Dollmaker's Shop. So there is a scenario where we lose. Okay, they have it, don't they? I'm gonna not block, actually. I was gonna block, but they've got it. They've got an Elspeth Smite in their hand. It's holding priority for them because they have attacking creatures right now, and you can target your own creatures with Elspeth Smite. At least I think you can. I was gonna block, but I think I think getting my combo off is way more important. Now you have to ask yourself a question. So I can slow down the barrage of toys here. If they had a Caretaker's talent, I feel like we would have seen it. Our opponent is deep, deep in the think tank, working on their breath control, trying real hard. Oh, it's my turn. I'm very confused. Like, what was holding priority for them in the second main phase? Alright. Sanguine Evangelist. We're gonna attack with the knight now. I'm trying to draw out the Elspeth Smite. Yep. Alright. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Go ahead. Block it. I called it. I feel good about my assessment. 6 mana to get to Porcelain Gallery. Yep. Do they play board wipes in this deck? I mean, they might. Sure. So, well, they can Carrot Cake for another rabbit, so it doesn't really behoove me to block here. I'm going to do way more damage with these things. Yeah. But the more they make, the more trouble I'm in. Yeah, let's take it. Yeah, we've got options. I can cast Virtue next turn. And then all my creatures are big enough to block theirs, which definitely changes the math of what's about to happen. They are still 2 lands away from Porcelain Gallery. Everything changes when they get to that. There it goes. Okay. I do think Virtue's probably correct here. Because I get to get 5 damage in and then hold up 3 blockers that can block their things. So that is what we're going to do. Do they have another Elspeth Smite? That might change my plan. Yeah. Okay. So they are playing off the top. They only have 4 lands. So now I'm highly incentivized to shelter the rabbit because they can't make more toys next turn. So Toby. Shelter. Okay. Slowing down the toy manufacturing. Beastie's about to fly too, so now they're like heavily disincentivized from attacking. I mean, I could even, again, they are only 1 point away at this point, so I'm still in danger. So if they draw a land and they activate a Porcelain Gallery, each one's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures, so they all become 4/4s at that point. 5/5s with Carrot Cake. So yeah, I'm still in a load of trouble. Popping it now? It doesn't make sense to pop it now. It doesn't. because it's giving me information, because I'll know whether or not they scry to the top, and that just may very well change what I'm doing. So instead, they're going to think really hard about their next play. Which one of these cards in my hand should I pick? Is it card number 0? Or is it card number 0? These are the kind of difficult philosophical things. Okay, so I can just attack with the beastie. Alright, so let's assume that they play the carrot cake and then they've got 5/5/5s to attack me with. If I virtue, all of my things get bigger. I gain 5 life, and then what happens? Then they attack me. Now I'm the one deeply thinking about which card to play. So what are my lines? I can play this other collector's cage, but as soon as I play this other collector's cage, it stops all of my other options from being available. So if my collector's cage is bunk, I'm in trouble. But if I play virtue and attack, I get 6, 7, 8. I get 8 damage in, and I gain 5, taking me to 23. I have to block something at that point. I think I have to play the cage. Show me Cavalry. Show it. Show me. Show me Moonshaker. This is excellent, actually. It is. This is excellent. Doesn't matter. Yep. You got it. Now the question is, they're not going to multi-block it, right? Because it would kill all of their stuff. So now I have the Sheltered by Ghosts, like, ready to go. Just one thing, right? Sure. I could have popped a map there with no downside. And I certainly should have. Okay, we killed the wabbit. Yeah, so I basically have an instant speed Sheltered by Ghost under this collector's cage. So, but really, like, my argument against Sheltered by Ghosts is that it's too easy to then get back. Like, because yes, it gives ward. It's great for aggressive decks, but I actually don't consider this to be an aggressive deck. I consider this to be kind of a combo deck. So if that's the case, I really want removal that is hard to destroy. You know, I want actual removal. Oh, is it my... They're making me wait for so long that I keep forgetting what's going on. Land? That is a tap land, which is not really doing what I want. Okay, so we are going to play the tap land, and we are going to continue to do what we were doing and attack with both the beastie and the flyer. I'm pretty okay with where we're at here. This is a very slow and you know, kind of unfun way of doing this. Okay, so I think I can safely impend the Overlord here, because I still have the Collector's Cage up. There it is. They might also play Sunfall at some point. I just gotta put it out there. Okay. So, like, if they attack, they just die, right? Oh, if they attack with everything, I guess I should say. So I think it makes sense to put the second sheltered on the beast as well. So what do we have? Lots of 2s, a 1, and a 5. So I put the token and the sheltered on the beast to make it a 6 and then a 7. This is a tough call for them. It really is. Because losing that one creature, you definitely don't want to attack with everything. So I go to what? 9, and then you die? 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I didn't want to miss lethal. Okay, so I didn't need those. I counted wrong. Guehu 91. Did you graduate in 91? Were you born in 91? That makes a pretty big difference, doesn't it? Okay. Mana's good. Why is there Merrick's in this deck? Should be a Fountain Port. 2 of the largest cards in the deck in my hand. I have to mulligan this. This is better. We'll tuck one of the cages. And we're on the draw again? Green, blue. Play our tap land. Green, blue. Couple of ranks higher than us. Up the beanstalk on 2. Okay. I'll take that. Okay, so I'm going to play the untapped land so I can get Lost or Virtue on their turn in case they do play it up the beanstalk. Which, seeing Seeds of Hope means I feel very, much like that's what we're doing. Okay, we are definitely playing. Oh, look, there it is. There it is. So, it's tough, but I think I can actually overpower this deck. Yep. We're going to go ahead and get Lost now with the trigger on the stack so they can't do anything else. Not that it matters. I think there is a way for them to get it other than does Seed of Hope from among the milled cards. Okay. Okay, so Restless Hope. Do we get the cage down? No, because I can do the trick again, right? Oh, I don't have the cage in play, though. That's tricky. I'm going to play the cage. Maybe it makes sense to do it later so that I'm going through less cards. Overlord will do. Seeds of Hope again. We got a Tolarian Terror. Guy is great. Cash grab on the main phase. Is that so they can cast the Terror? Yeah, they almost certainly have enough to now. I didn't count, but 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they've got enough to cast the Terror. Yep. There she blows. Okay, so either of my 3 drops does what I need it to, basically. I don't know if one is easier to manage than the other. And actually, the following turn, I'll be able to cast whichever one I don't cast this turn. Okay, so I think I play the Evangelist then, so that I can jump with the Bat without hugely worrying about what that's going to mean for me. Now, they could ruin my plans with a lot of interaction. There's just no two ways about it. They found their second beanstalk, and now if they start ripping terrors or eddy crabs, we have lost this value battle. I'm just gonna take this one. I was gonna block, but please use your last mana. It's okay. Okay, Toby? Okay, problematic. I don't think they can stop it. I'm gonna do it now. Because, like, they can bounce the creature I'm targeting with open mana, so I'm just gonna do it now. Yep. Terror number 3. Okay, so we haven't necessarily lost. I know what that deck is capable of. There's the Eddy Merc Crab. Tap down some stuff. Sure. Okay, so I really need... They probably have a second Eddy Merc Crab in their hand, so I think I just need to move to combat and see if they're going to let me attack with this Overlord. It doesn't really feel like they are. They're going to either bounce it or Eddy Merc it. This town ain't big enough. Yeah, okay. So, no attackers for me, I don't think. And we'll just play the Overlord. I really like... Unless I draw another Collector's Cage, which with a Moonshaker underneath it, I think this is going to be a very long and draggy game. I'm really surprised by that play. Okay. There you go. There's your 6/6. I mean, they're going to outvalue me. There's no... I just don't... I don't see a way out of this. Okay. So they just drew the Bushwhack, right? Yep, chumping for days. It's funny because it's like on this end of the table, I feel like they have complete control of the game, but they are being very thoughtful about their choices right now. I'm gonna go ahead and call this. The old Chrome Desolator, motorcycle enthusiast, and polishing enthusiast. I gotta say, like, I don't like conceding. I don't like conceding early, but my feeling is that I can drag that game out for a really long time, and it's just not going to be any fun for anybody. Not fun to play, not fun to watch, and I probably end up losing. Like, that is a lot of energy and effort for not a lot of payout. I'm gonna keep this. I have an interaction. I'm on the play. I have a cage and a Toby, so one other creature, and I'm probably good enough to do the thing I want to do. Okay, Razor Verge Thicket. We'll hold it up in case they play the 2-drop. Scavenger, huh? That feels good for them. Are we gonna... Okay. Oh, I should not let this resolve. I shouldn't have let that resolve. Yeah. Shouldn't have let the first one resolve. That was a mistake on my part. Oh, wait. Oh, because it never entered. Oh, that's interesting. I may very well take this scavenger out while I can. You know what? I'm gonna play Toby instead. I just realized that the deck I'm playing against almost certainly is running Sheltered by Ghost. High likelihood they've got one in their hand, and that makes Toby very bad. Yep, there it is. Excellent. You take the token, right? You take the token. Yeah. Oh my god, why would you not? Yeah. Okay. And you also don't tap out. Yeah, you get in for 4, no blocks. Tap land is bad for us. Sanguine Evangelist, get in for 1. Ooh, Manifold Mouse is good off the top. You don't want it. Fascinating. Ethereal Armor. Excellent. Doing great. We block. Oh, our opponent's going to be at a lot of life by the time this is over. Feather of Flight. Yep, they may have just won. Do you have another enchantment? Yep. Okay. So they don't have trample yet. I'm tempted to kill the mouse to see if I can draw out the spell. They don't have it. Okay. So... hold on. How does Restless Reef? Other attacking creatures. So it's got to be the Evangel. Okay, that'll do. So if they draw a trample card, I just lose. If they draw a Monstrous Rage, I just lose at this point. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I forget about that. Yep. What is their last card? What is it? What is it? What is it? So what they could have done is they could have mapped the Embereth Challenger, the Emberheart Challenger. Okay, so Toby gives all of my tokens flying. I can't kill you, but I can be very mean. Okay. They have 2 removal spells. Yep. And the other? I'm sorry, friend. That does not a good game make. So it's got a ward of 4 at this point. Okay, so I can't kill it. So we're drawing off the top to see who draws the wind spell first. So I think I'm going to play this Toby so that all of my tokens are flying. Okay, top deck game it is. Who draws the thing off the top first? Feather of Flight is a redraw. Did you draw the trample? You did not. Woo! Oh my gosh, this is so tense. Oh. I don't think it really matters. It's so... Did you get it? Oh my... Okay. That doesn't do it, I'm afraid. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is so... Oh, this is so anticlimactic. It really is. And another land. They're gonna gain 26 life. Sure. Another redraw for our friend. It's still not good enough. It's really not. And they get another redraw. Is this it? They would just slam it if it was. Holy crap. There it is. What a loss. I'm speechless after that last game because all I needed to do was draw Moonshaker Cavalry, and I do so much damage to them at that point. Like, just an enormous amount of damage. This hand is terrible. Yellow Flash, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you, but I was just absolutely gobsmacked by that last game. This is tough. I want all of these cards, so I don't really know, because I need 3 creatures, right? I've got the 3 creatures right there. It's got to be one of the removal spells. Let's tuck the Sheltered. Feel like I'm spiraling. I gotta psych myself back up. I just lost 2 very tough games. That last one, that's hard to swallow, because you're just playing off the top, and at some point they draw a card that draws them a card that draws them a card that wins them the game. I think in this case I am gonna hold the Paul Pack Recruit so that I can potentially get these different, that I can get the virtue down. Yep. Go ahead. Deduce something. Magic. Sometimes you play so much. This is the first time I've played against control in a really long time. I feel like I don't see it very often. You gonna counter my virtue of loyalty? I don't think you are. Okay. Let's get our attack in. So what do I do? Is it either of them are fine? Like, they're essentially the same thing. So it's almost certainly just gonna get countered, right? It's gonna get countered. Or they're gonna let it resolve, and they're gonna play Day of Judgment. Union draws them 6. You don't see Union of the Third Path that much anymore. 4th land, Day of Judgment. Another Union. Oh my gosh, window opening. Collector's Cage. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Play Razor Verge. Attack with everyone? So here's the trouble. They're almost certainly going to board wipe. So playing Overlord isn't as impactful as it seems right now. It's just not. So if they're sunfalling right now, there is no sense in me doing this. Temporary lockdown. I love this. Because watch this. Can I have it back? Can I have that back? Please and thank you. They're trying to decide whether they want to counter it or not. Yeah, all right. Dang. I was really hoping for a ground shaker. All right. Moonshaker. I will always get the card name wrong. I just want to see it one more time. We got to see the apex of what this deck is capable of in the very first 5 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. See, that I always knew that this was going to happen. So do I get the other one going? I think I do. Alright, we're going to put Nissa under it, and then we're going to use it, right? Perfect.
I will protect you, Phyrexia, until the invasion begins.
Excellent. Okay, let's start getting this going. And then this. There's no reason not to do this now. Like, there's no super secret going on here. So they're going to temporary lockdown again. And unless they have an answer for Nissa, I'm just going to kill it again. Man, come on. I keep drawing it. It's not what I want. You gonna soul partition it again? You should really soul partition my Nissa. Bam. Toby. Oh, wow. Very bad hits. Yep. Yeah, here comes the soul. Oh, get lost. Even better. Yep. Okay. I mean, I don't feel bad about where we're at. Jace. Okay. So are you just going to put me on the mill plan? The free mill plan? Yeah. How do you feel about this? Yeah. That's it! Alright, friends and opponents, how did we do today? Well, we shook the cage at least once. for the win, which was really all I wanted to do on camera. We got about 6 games in, went a total of 4-2, so winning record. Admittedly, we won against some what didn't seem to be top tier decks, so I'll take the wins where I can get them. Thank you very much. All in all, this is a very fun deck. I love cheating big things into play ahead of curve. If you have seen in my previous videos, it's definitely what I live for. So Collector's Cage is enormously fun for exactly that reason. There's a lot of other options that you might pursue in this deck. I'm not entirely convinced that Sheltered by Ghosts makes sense. I'm really kind of wondering if there isn't something else. Maybe Ossification does what I need this card to do. It's kind of hard to say. Or maybe I could play with a more expensive removal spell that gets tucked under Collector's Cage and breaks the back of our opponents. So hard to say, but I do want to acknowledge that Virtue of Loyalty was a big win for us. I think this allowed us to do some instant speed shenanigans and kind of set ourselves up for a Collector's Cage activation by getting out the Knight on their turn, casting a 3-mana creature with 2 bodies on ours, and then activating the Collector's Cage. I think that this is very good for that. So I think that this is a definite win. And then at the top end, I'm not entirely sure about Nissa. I just kind of jammed it in at the last moment to see if I could sneak in a Planeswalker. We did see it do a little work in one game, not as much as I would have liked it to do. So is the deck top tier? Certainly not, but it is an enormous amount of fun if you are like me and you like cheating things into play. That's all we have for this week. Thank you very much for your time and energy. We appreciate you. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave some comments down below to help boost the old head games signal. So with that, remember, drink more water, wash your hands, and for goodness sake, take care of your head.